Morning, guys. I thought I would give you an update on my progress on my plans for the week. I recorded my 6 projects for the week video yesterday, and I got a fair amount done yesterday after that, not sewing, but prepping. So let me show you what I've done. Okay, so I started off by cutting the Adrienne blouse in this Minerva fabric. So that's done. I didn't even realize, because I guess I was just cutting and didn't think about it, but there's only 3 pattern pieces for this, which is pretty amazing. I mean, two fronts, or a front and a back, 2 sleeves, and the neck ribbing, And then on the Darling Ranges, I did some pattern adjustments. So first of all, I had cut it a 10, and now I've cut it down to an 8. I actually might be a 6, but I'd rather this be loose fitting right now. So I did, though, add an inch to the body, to the bodice on the front and on the back. And that's because in general, I find that bodices are too short on my body, and also because it's supposed to be a high-waisted dress, so it would be even shorter than normal. So I thought I added an 1.5 inches there. And then I also did a slash and spread on the sleeve. Now I was just going to use another pattern piece, but the sleeve cap didn't match, which is not that surprising. But I just use that as a template for like how wide. So I first added length to the sleeve, and then I did the slash and spread. I've already taped it back together, but this is what I ended up with. So you can see a fair bit wider at the bottom, and then that will gather. It's still only going to be like a 3/4 length sleeve. It's not like a long sleeve, maybe not even quite that. So, but yeah, I think that's going to be good. And then lastly, I have cut the Patrones tie front shirt. And so that has front, back. Here is, actually no, this is from another top. That's what happens when you're cutting so much, right? Okay, so this is the tie front back, and this is the collar, this is the tie part, this is the sleeve, and this is the front. So I've got that ready to go. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to cut the Darling Ranges dress out of the orange, and I'm also going to cut the Patrones top out of the gray, and then I'm going to sew up the Adrienne blouse. I think that's the order I'm going to do it. And I'm waiting on my order from the Merceria with the fabric to do my my masks for people. So as soon as that arrives, I'll work on that, because I want to get that done. Excuse me, I want to get that done today. But it's 8:30. It's probably closer to 9 now, because the kids are back in school. Yay! And I want to thank you guys, because the only reason that I have my hair brushed and makeup on is because I'm talking to you. So you guys are keeping me from descending into just a puddle of gray flannel and hair ties. Okay, Darling Ranges dress cut. The fabric requirement is 2 meters, and I've managed to like rearrange things. I really want to try and get a little tank top still out of this fabric, because it's so soft, and I'm greedy and I want more than one garment out of it. So what I've done is I haven't yet cut the bias strips, and I haven't cut the second set of pockets, because I want to cut a tank top first and then see if, well, then I can cut the bias strips. But worst comes to worst, I can cut the inside of the pocket bag in a different fabric, and I can cut the bias strip from like something else, some leftover Nanny Euro or something like that, and that actually might be nice. So I'm gonna see what I can get out of this first, and then I'll do it. So here is my order from the Teia Costureira here in Sitges. And this is the fabric I'm prepping for the top, but this is the blue linen that I'm going to use for Audrey's shorts. And this is the gray cotton I'm going to use for the masks. And then these are all fabrics to make hats for my family. It's starting to get really warm, and I like them all to wear hats. And then these are some buttons. So these are mother of pearl buttons, and these are really cool metal buttons. One or the other of them I'll use for one or the other of these projects. I need 9 buttons for the dress, which means I'll have to get more, or I'll have to use something else. And then, let me reach up here. I have enough of this left over that my hat is going to be this with this on the inside. So I have this free hat pattern from LB Textiles, the Sorrento bucket hat, and I actually thought I had had enough fabric in the past and was going to try and make these a couple days ago and realized I didn't. So I have this, and then I also have the wide brimmed hat from Creative Bug that I've made before. So we'll see. I like to make the smaller one for the kids and my husband, but I'd like to try and make a bigger one for me. But I'm now going to wash these two, finish the edges and wash them. I'm not going to wash the fabric before I make the hats, because hats in our house don't really get washed all that much, so I'm not so worried about them shrinking or anything like that. But yay, so excited to have this pretty palette. Okay, it's a new day. I'm wearing my little outfit that I made last week, and I am now working on the Adrienne blouse. So I've got a good chunk of it done. The only thing I didn't anticipate is this fabric has quite, like you can kind of see there, it has quite the texture to it, and it's making it a little bit tricky to match up the stripes, because they almost kind of fall off of each other. Like they want to be the opposite, right? They want to like go in the groove and then go up over and stuff. They don't want to like sit right on top of each other. So I'm making it work the best I can. I also yesterday did end up washing the cotton fabric, because it had that like that off-gassy smell, you know, that sometimes cotton has, unfortunately. So I washed that, I dried that. That's all done. I also washed and dried the linen, and I'm gonna cut everything today. I'm gonna cut the masks today. They're being picked up tomorrow. So I'll cut them and probably sew. I don't know. I haven't done masks in bulk yet, so we'll see how that goes. I'm only doing 12, so it's not really bulk, but, and then what else? I have the Darling Ranges dress to keep working on, and I also attached the interfacing to the collar of my print blouse there that I'm finishing up. So yeah, getting some stuff done.
Morning, guys. I am here with my coffee, and but I won't take a sip because sometimes that annoys people. So let's see. It is Thursday today, and yesterday I ended up spending the afternoon working on masks. So I finished 6 of them, and tomorrow I'll show you in a second the masks and explain. And they're getting picked up this morning. And I also made another one from Denise Byron, the Good Neighbor bandana, I think she calls it, which is also a free pattern, so I'll link that below. And I cut out Audrey's shorts. Actually, I let her cut out the shorts. I find it very stressful watching somebody else cut things. Yeah, so anyway, it's her first time using the rotary cutter, which she's been wanting to do for years, and I figure she's 13, she can probably manage it. So she cut out the shorts, and I think we might have saved enough out of the meter of fabric to make her a little tank to go with it. Again, I cut everything except for, I cut both sets of pockets. I just didn't cut the belt loops, because they wanted you to cut out sort of a bar and then cut into 3 and make it into the belt loops, and I figure I can make that from other scraps. I don't need to use a chunk of the main. And then, and I did the Adrienne blouse. I did the Adrienne blouse. I just need to add the elastic to the wrists. So I'm doing pretty good. Today I'm going to work on the Darling Ranges dress, because I have that all cut and ready to go. And I'm going to cut out the tie waist blouse. So I think those are the two things I'll do today. I also have all the fabric for the family hats, which wasn't on my original list, but Lily especially is very much looking forward to that. And the other thing too is now that I've made the Adrienne blouse and I can confirm that size medium is the best size for me, I'm going to cut the same fabric or the same pattern out of that black and white leaf fabric, because in order to make Lily's dress, I need to use whatever scraps I can get out of that. So I need to cut it first. So it's like a you know, like a tower, right? Like, what do you do next to make sure that you have what you need for the next one? And especially in these times when you really have to economize and use up everything, which is very cool, actually. It's going to be a very interesting thing to see if we continue to accommodate that in our daily lives. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the Adrienne blouse so that I can then do Lily's tank top. So overall, it's Thursday, and I started this on Monday. So yeah, pretty good progress. All right, I'm going to enjoy a couple more minutes of sunshine and birdsong and my slice of sea view, which whenever I record it for you guys, it looks so piddly, but I assure you, in real life, the sea is much closer than it looks, and it's a very satisfying sea view. And there's lots of fresh air. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Bye.
So I finished 6 masks yesterday afternoon, and these have gray cotton on the outside, which is a little bit heavier. This one is for some reason heavier than the rest. And because I thought 2 layers of this would be difficult to breathe in, these aren't medical masks. These are for people to be able to go back to work in a warehouse. The inside I did in a slightly lighter cotton in the navy. So I top stitched around the edges. This pattern is from my friend Diana, who I've told you about before. She owns Diana Coatsworth Design. Right now she's leading what she's calling the Sewing Army, and it's thesewingarmy.com. And this is the mask that she has there for the people working with her. Amazing group. It's a great website just to check out, and their Facebook group as well. Not just for Toronto, for all over. Anyway, she put this pattern on there as well as a video, and also for a scrub cap. So I used this. Now the problem is I didn't have any twill tape or bias tape to use for my straps, so I had to make all of this bias binding first, which frankly took the most time. So if I were making much of these, I would try to source some twill tape or bias binding, but of course I can't just run down to the merceria or even go borrow some from people. Anyway, it was totally fine. These are done, so I've got 6, and then my next thing is to do 1 of another style. So over here I'm working on one on what's, I think it's called the Good Neighbor bandana, and it's by Denise Byron. And the idea of this is that you just have 1 strap on the top and it kind of hangs in front of your face, which just, if you're basically just in the street and want to protect, you know, not sneezing on anybody or whatever. Of course, the masks are mostly to protect others, not yourself. This will allow you to breathe better, and it's more comfortable, and it's not on your ears or anything like that. So I'm going to do 1 of these now because I'm making a second set for my friend's workers, and I wanted to see what she thinks her employees would prefer. So I'm going to work on that, and I'll show it to you. Okay, and here is my Good Neighbor bandana from Denise Byron. And I've done it in this gray. So I'm going to give this to my friend for her to see if her employees would prefer their second kind of alternate. I figured they could have one in the wash and 1 to wear every day, if they prefer this or the real full one, because they're not working with the public. They're working, and so basically it's about, you know, if they cough, that it doesn't go into the air. So we shall see. So I've gotten a little sidetracked, and I am working on a bucket hat for Lily because it's getting sunny out, and in the afternoon on the patio it's very sunny, and her old hats don't fit her anymore. So I have fabric to make hats for the whole family, but I'm starting on Lily's first. So she chose this blue for the inside or the outside and green for the alternate side. So I've got the brim put together and I've got everything else cut. So I'm going to be working on that next before I get to the darling ranges. And then I still have to cut out the other top. On the bright side, I also just got the new Berta style, which has some super cute patterns in there. I love that. That might be nice for the leftover fabric of this because it's nice and light, and I think it would take to that shape really well. So yeah, I might do that. Little preview. Okay, so one bucket hat done. It looks cute there, but it's a bit flimsy. It said in the instructions that you don't really need interfacing unless it's very thin. This isn't very thin, but it's a little bit light. So for the next one, I'm definitely going to add interfacing. However, for the moment, it's fine and it'll make Lily happy.
Okay, so it is 5:45 and I have finished this hat for Lily and I finished the Adrienne blouse. I finished all my masks. One thing I realized is just a while ago I was sewing and I was like, why am I feeling stressed out? And I realized that part of the thing I've really been enjoying and discovering in the last little bit is that mindful sewing and slow sewing are more enjoyable than rush and get it done sewing. And so when I set myself this goal of the 6 items, I didn't factor in the idea that it doesn't really fit with this philosophy that I'm trying to, that I've discovered and that is making me happy. So all that said, I'm going to keep working to finish these things that I want to finish, but I'm not going to pressure myself to finish them in time to show them to you on Monday because I might not get them all done. And in the meantime, I've done a hat instead and I've done masks instead. And I want to keep sewing my happy place during this time, and turning it into stress is so counterproductive. So I'm glad I recognized that and realized and kind of checked in with how I was feeling. Yeah, so hey, I may still get it done, but I'm just gonna be really mindful of the fact that this isn't a job. This is my hobby and it's my sanity during this time. And so I want to show you guys as much as possible, but I also want to keep it real and not just be a making things machine. I want to make, and my phone cut out, but you get the gist. Anyway, it's the next day and I have cut and I'm working on the Bathurst top, which unfortunately I can't show you the finished product, but I can just show you that it is so soft. This is the Coca double gauze. Oh my gosh, I just love, it's so soft. It's like a spa treatment for your hands while you're sewing. I just want to cuddle with it and make a pillow. Anyway, I'm working on that. I have 4 more masks to do at some point, maybe tonight probably. And then I'm going to start on the Darling Ranges dress this afternoon because I think this is going to be done in the next 15 minutes or so. I wish I could show you, but when I can, I will. Okay, Bathurst top done. I can't show it to you because I'm not allowed, but it is really, really cute. And it's very comfortable. I'm so glad I made it in the double gauze. And I'm so glad that I waited for the adjusted pattern. So, because now it's done and it's great. So, check, check, check. All right, it's 6:30. And I am cutting my second Adrienne blouse in this beautiful leaf print that I got from Carl Joanne last week. The only thing about this is that it's really hard to get smooth. You know, it's one of those like just really, really light, although it's not at all see-through, but it's very light. And so it's really hard to like get smooth. Actually, I should stop messing with it now. But yeah, so I've already cut one sleeve. This is the other sleeve. The sleeve is by far the largest piece of this. And then I'll finish. I was kind of hoping to get a dress, but I don't have enough. So actually, now that I look at it, maybe I can squeak out a dress. So because of the way the sleeves are part of the shoulder, I'm just cutting from the underarm down, and I've put a dress that I know fits me on top, and I have just enough space. And I certainly have enough there to cut another. So
I think I'm gonna try and get a dress. Why not, right? Good morning. So it is now Saturday, it is the weekend, and I finished off the last 4 masks. So I had 4 more masks to do for a total of 10. By far the thing that took the longest was having to make bias tape. If I hadn't had to make bias tape, it would have been so much faster. But they're done and they look great and I'm very happy with them. And now I have set myself on the Ellen woven shorts. So I'm starting off by sewing together the pockets. And there is some sun. It's supposed to get cloudy and rainy. So I'm kind of hoping that's not the case, but we shall see. Yeah, so I'm going to keep going on those and then definitely turn my eye to the Darling Ranges dress. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. Shorts, as far as I've gotten them. I've attached the pockets, except for the tops that become the belt loops, and I had Audrey try them on, and given that there's going to be a big elastic waist, I think they're going to work well. So I'm going to take a little break and make lunch. Okay, so now I am on to the Darling Ranges dress. I still have to finish up the shorts, but one thing I like about cutting a bunch of things is when I get a little bored of one thing, I can move to something else and it'll kind of perk me up a bit. So I just did the interfacing and I did the darts, and now I'm going to attach the sides of the bodice. You might remember that I didn't want to cut 4 pockets out of the orange fabric because I wanted to keep enough behind to be able to make a little top. And I haven't cut that yet, so I don't know for sure, but I don't think I would have enough. So instead, I cut it out of this light flowery material, and these will be for on the front so that you probably won't see them. But yeah, I thought just a little hint of the gauze would be pretty.